Yeah, one of the tips I tell people is to ask why 3 times, 3 different ways.
Hmm.
Why is that important to you? And then I always tell my leaders, because they're like, well, but what if I get to the third why and I still don't have an answer and something feels off? Like, slow down and breathe, and
Right.
say, you know what? I'm not sure I 100% understand where you're coming from. Can you tell me more?
Hmm.
What people really want, whether it's the people who live in our household or the people who work in our companies, they want to be seen and they want to be heard. And when they're seen and heard, they get out of their reactive mindset into their creative mindset. A circle of trust is created. And when we trust, think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The very base, the biggest part is safety and belonging. If I feel trust, I feel safe. When I feel safe, I feel like I belong. And then things can happen. The reality is, most problems in business, actually most problems in life, are all people problems. And part of it is to understand that I'm going to put up a forward face to you because I want to feel safe. And when I put that forward face up to you as you're my boss, well, I don't want to get fired because you ultimately have that control. Once I put that mask down, and once we get to the root issue, not the symptom, but the root of the issue, because never, like going back to the example of the woman who, I don't have a price for my business. It's not a business issue. It's a self issue that you don't feel like you're good enough to ask for that price. Let's figure out why you don't feel good enough. Let's dig there. Like, I get excited about that. I'm going to go do a program in Baton Rouge in a couple of weeks. And he goes, well, we need you for about 8 hours. Do you want to do that over 2 days, 4 hours? So I said, no, we can do it all in one day. He's like, aren't you going to be exhausted? I said, I will promise you this. I will be more fired up after those 8 hours. Now, you guys will be exhausted, but I'll be fired up because I love that when people have that awareness and they're able to grow through those tough moments.
Yeah. Well, and I think that speaks to your level of expertise and your level of passion and seeing people go from point A and knowing they want to get to point B, and you being that medium that helps get them there.
Well, it is, and that joy of being massively curious.
Sure.
And like, I just worked with a group in Texas, and they brought me in, and they want to know exactly how it was all going to go. And because I wanted to keep my customer happy, I tried to explain it to him. And we were on the phone for like 90 minutes. And I said, listen, I'm going to show up. I'm going to meet the room where it's at at that hour of that day. We're going to lay out what we're going to accomplish. And I promise you, we will get it accomplished. If you're unsatisfied, don't pay me, because I can't. It's that magic of being in the room. It's that magic of that massive curiosity. It's that magic of digging deep in allowing someone to express that you can't script it. And that's sometimes the hardest part about what I do is, like, I try to explain it to people. But my best sales tool, someone asked me the other day, like, well, how many more clients do you want to have? And I said, I have a number, but I'm about 75% there. I said, but when I get to 100%, I'm going to want more, because I love those moments of watching people grow and develop. But my best sales tool is actually being in a room and unpacking someone's 10 years worth of pain and having them have a breakthrough and having them, oh my gosh, I've been struggling with this issue for the last decade of my life. And in less than 2 hours, I'm unstuck around it. Yeah, it doesn't solve the problem, but now I have an awareness of where it comes from versus, changing process. It's like, I used this analogy the other day. I said, you're a golfer and you keep getting new drivers. What's the constant in that? Well, I'm brand loyal to Nike, or I'm brand loyal to Big Bertha. No, you're the constant. What if we, instead of changing your process, changing your external, changing your driver, what if we work on you, but not on your swing, but how you approach the shot? Because you only have one drive. So you're going to have 18 drives. That's it. That's all you're going to have. So let's just figure out how to do that. And he's like, oh, well, I never thought of it like that. I said, yeah, it's much easier to spend a couple $100 on a new driver than actually do the work.
Right. You don't have to drive it 300 yards every time.
No. And, as you get older, your flexibility reduces. And like, well, maybe,
Yeah.
So it's funny. My brother was a Division I golfer, and I talk about him in the book.
Wow.
He was my first coach, and he's always very clear. He's like, you know what? You got this shot. You can't worry about the shot you just took, and you can't worry about the shot you were going to take. You have this shot. And if you just do this shot to the best of your ability over and over and over again, and what is Greg? Greg's going to be 65 this year. He still wins club championships against guys half his age because he just plays the shot. He doesn't worry about the next shot. And, and he can be a trash talker, I'm sure. But if you're going to let him rent space in your head, that's on you, not on him. And he's, but he's able to perform a sport at a very high level. And so we're working on the book. And I said, I'm just out of curiosity, because he's 12 years older than me. I said, where did you learn how to golf? I mean, by the time I came into your life, you were already playing, junior tournaments and everything. It's like, yeah, I read a book. I think it was the Ben Hogan book on golf. I said, you've never taken a lesson? He's like, no. I read the book, and the book seemed pretty simple. Play the shot you got. And you just repeat that over and over and over and over again. 10,000 hours of practice equals mastery. And I was just blown away. And he's like, yeah, most people now want the quick fix, or they want this gadget or this device. It's like, there's no quick fix.